This has got to be one of the biggest traps on YouTube, which is talking about how to get out of the procrastination trap. And people are always looking up videos about how do I stop myself from doing exactly what I'm doing right now. Well, I'm going to give you a very Andrew Tate response right now. You ready? Just stop fucking doing it. But that was more Gordon Ramsay. Whatever, that's all you get. My impressions are done for the day. I think I'm just going to take the rest of this on cruise control. And by cruise control, I mean I'm going to keep talking, but I'm just not going to put in any effort whatsoever. Because that is actually one of the two key things about procrastination. Let's just be very succinct about the two major reasons that you will be procrastinating. You ready? Here's the first one. Are you ready or not? I hope you said yes. The first one is that you are procrastinating because you think that what you are going to take on is too big. And as the old saying goes, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with 1 foot. I think that the big way to stop yourself from procrastinating a lot in life is to just realize that, no, like, okay, you want to build a rocket that goes to Mars and you want to beat Elon Musk doing it, despite the fact that you have no job, which is somebody that I do know. There is a lot of insane people in the world, isn't there? Can we just get that out of the way? He has shown me plans to be like, look, I'm going to go to Mars. And it's like, that's great, dude. When was the last full-time job you had? Oh, that's right, never. And he's 30 as well. God, look, this is a major, major reason why I do this self-help channel, by the way. If you're younger than that, you do not want to be in that man's shoes. Please. And I think that the fact that you're even watching this, but the fact, look, all right, I know that we're not talking about procrastination at the moment, and allow me to keep procrastinating on that. I will come back to it in a second, but I need you to understand that that man who thinks that he's going to go to space and the moon has also, can you believe it, disparaging views of Tony Robbins. That's where that line of thinking gets you in life. That I've got all the answers in the world, and somebody who studies how to help people for a life has nothing to offer. So listen to me, regurgitating him instead, and give me money on my Patreon. But he thinks that he's going to get there. So let's just help him out with that for a second. I think the very first step to getting there, after you've got all your grandiose plans in your head, is to do the smallest action possible towards it. So we're not even talking about a step here. We are talking about a half step. Say you've got an essay to write. Can you write a word? Can you write a word about the essay? Here's the other trick when it comes to writing essays, when it comes to writing scripts, when it comes to writing anything, when it comes to writing music. Here's the whole thing. That's not going to be seen by anyone. All you are doing with any piece of creativity that you're ever making, and I am including maths papers in this because that's the song of the universe, man, I think. I don't know anything about maths, so I'm not sure if that's true or not. It's a very unmathematical answer, but what you need to know is that somebody who is writing all the time, the way that they look at their job is that they are the exact same as a paleontologist. They are just brushing away the dirt until they see the fossil. And the fossil reveals itself. So when you write, just know, because this is honestly what happens when I'm writing something. When I'm writing something, I write it, if I'm doing like a really polished script, I'd probably write it 20, 30 times. And I'd be writing the same things over and over, but every time that I'm writing a different thing, it looks a little bit different. The wording of it looks a little bit different. It gets a little bit crisper. It gets a little cleaner. The point of what you're trying to say just gets condensed into that nice line. So until it becomes an Oscar Wilde-esque witticism, if I do say so myself. And I do. And he can't do anything about it either because he's dead sucked in. And, well, you know, like, again, it happens to the best of us. It happened to even Oscar Wilde. I bet you even he said that in one of his books. Death happens to the best of us, even me. He did have that kind of ego. And, yeah, look, Stephen Fry's, I know this is going to get a lot of hate, but come on, he's just not as good. That's what happens when you get television kids instead of writing all your novels. But that's what's happening there, right? So you just break it down to the smallest action possible. And then as soon as you do that, your brain, as we always say, wants to keep going and doing what it's currently doing. I think it's an Isaac Newton law that it takes 3 parts of energy to get it to get something moving, and then once it is moving, it keeps 1 part of energy to just keep it going. This is why when you get up in the morning, it's so difficult because you're lying down. And so your body to just get going is kind of like, you know, when you just start up a machine and you can feel like really struggling at the beginning, be like, and then it starts and it goes like, same thing with everything. Same thing with everything. So when you're procrastinating, just try and make it easier than the thing that you're currently doing, right? Like searching for YouTube videos, think about it. You are writing down sentences. Where's the Hello Kitty factory in Japan specifically? Is there a Hello Kitty Japan Korean joint venture factory? I know that you looked that up recently, especially if you're a 50-year-old man watching this. And might I just say, it doesn't matter at that point. It's very unsettling that you would be looking that up. Nonetheless, I'm not here to judge, man. Not paid to that, am I? I don't care about your private personal history. Do it. Put it down to something that is smaller than the thing that you are doing. You can do that. The thing that you are writing can be one word. I don't care what it is. If you are procrastinating from going to the gym because I've got to walk to the gym and then I've got to undress and all that stuff, walk out the house. Walk out the house. That's it. Just take the first step out of the door. And then as soon as you're done, you're just like, okay. And then the rest of it goes into autopilot. It's a great trick to life. Just remember, 3 parts action and then 1 part action to just keep going in that direction. But what will happen then is that you will just mentally tire out. That's in the future. That's future you problem. Present you problem, you just deal with that. The other one, and this is the big one, this is the much deeper thing. When it comes to procrastination, let's be real about this. Real talk on Jordan Shanks. When is it not? Am I right? Maybe you should subscribe and like if you like having frank discussions about how bad of a human being you are. But the other point that I would like to address is that if you are procrastinating, why are you procrastinating? You're distracting yourself from your biggest problem in life. Take it from a workaholic, for instance. What do? This is the frequent pattern of my life. I feel like my strongest suit is working. So I work all the time. And then if I have a personal problem, a relationship problem, a medical problem, even if I need to get a haircut, I procrastinate by doing work. I've just moved my procrastination to something else. So if you are procrastinating, and you're probably procrastinating in a low functioning thing, so it's something that's not even moving you forward in any area of your life, that's probably why you're watching this now, be honest. Just be honest, you suck. You suck and I'm mad. Just accept it. Accept it, like the video, and then sign up to George Shanks so you can be as awesome at, avoiding all of your problems and all of your friends in life by just working for 18 hours a day. Doesn't that sound like the ideal life? Maybe you should sign up to find out how to do it on jordanshanks.com. Yeah, that's right, kids. You too can stare at a computer screen all day, every day, until your eyes get that little glazy thing over and you think, do I need to get glasses? Oh, no, it's just because they've been fried from staring at it for too long, and I'm starting to get myopia as a result. It's not happening to me. That's actually happening to a friend of mine who is also a workaholic. But you too can get that kind of condition in your eyes. Sign up today. Make sure you do. I really think that if you're not doing it, though, honestly, I do think this. If you are not signing up to Jordan Shanks, you're wasting your life. There, I said it. That's going to keep you on track. That is going to be your personal motivating coach in life that is going to get you far better results than what you're getting. And if you get far better results in life, guess what? You get whatever you want in life. You want a Bugatti? Andrew Tate doesn't know how to do that. He's just ripping you off. Haven't you seen Hassan Piker totally take him out? It's me, kids. I've got all the answers. But the answers are actually just, very straightforward stuff with a lot of psychology mixed into it, such as this, which is if you are procrastinating, write it down. If you are procrastinating, and see, this is another procrastination thing. You're not writing it down right now, are you? Ooh, psychic. If you're not doing it, it is because you are avoiding a bigger problem in life. That is the core of your procrastination. You need to know why you are procrastinating so that you can address that first. People do it all the time. I was listening to an example recently of somebody who was distracting themselves from the fact that their marriage is falling apart by watching a lot of television. What happens there? Your brain is distracted. It's numb. It doesn't have to think about the fact, do I like my husband anymore? Doesn't have to. It just focuses on how other people's relationships are worse. And also, this is a lot easier because I don't have to have any confronting conversations in my life. But then obviously they got the divorce. They're both happier as a result of that. And life goes on, whatever. They were just, they suck, but that's fine. No, they're all right. Good on for them. Yes, and so yes, I think that is what's happening. I honestly do. I think that if you are procrastinating, you are always going to procrastinate on something that is of lower level than what you are procrastinating away from. So if it's a big thing in life, you actually probably will need something quite big to procrastinate your mind with. Yeah? So if you're not just doing like a uni essay, really, what's the buyout? Like it's just like, oh my God, I'm still going to give you a pass mark because that's all these are. They're just degree factories and we just need them to pass so that we can get more people in. So there you go. But still, you should be ashamed of yourself. That's all that's going to happen. And so you procrastinate with shit on YouTube. Yeah. If you are procrastinating from, say, having a very confronting conversation with your mother, you're going to need to get involved in a television show instead of just searching the web. You're going to have to get involved in characters and all this kind of stuff. It's just going to have to get to a level of complication that you are acceptable with. So, like, whatever level you are at in life, you are going to be doing something that is complicated for your mind, so that you can distract yourself from having that conversation. The thing that I frequently do all the time is work. I work to distract myself from that because obviously my work, being a writer, it takes up your entire mind. And also you just escape into fantasy world all the time. So that's what I do in that situation. That's what you're going to do. You are going to be doing something else to distract yourself from the biggest thing that you have in your life. Here's the problem. And it's exactly the same as why I'm always telling you that you should be writing down anything that you need to do onto like some little journal that you have carrying around in your life. Because it's the same thing with this. It is just taking up hardware in your mind. Software, I think anyway, might be hardware. Look, I'm not an IT expert, as you can plainly see, right? I don't own a Dilbert shirt. Don't yell at me. But you are going to be moving away from that problem. And what does that do for the rest of your life? It gives you pretty much just everything else kind of. It's like traffic, I suppose. One car stops at the traffic lights, and then you have all the other cars behind it that have to stop. That's your problem in life. Your problem is the red light, and then the car. No, the problem is the red, yes, and your reaction to it is the first car, and then just got lost in my metaphor for a sec, and then all the other ones are just other things that are lining up. You'll be procrastinating on all those other things because you are not addressing the big thing that you should be procrastinating on. Your job is to find out what that is. I think you know what it is. I think you just need to be honest with yourself. You don't even need to write it down at the moment. There is something that you are avoiding now, and that's why you're procrastinating. If you weren't avoiding anything in your life, believe me, everything else in your life becomes easier. Okay, if you liked that, make sure you sign up to Jordan Shanks. I will be giving you far better tips and things that'll just solve the problem that you're facing in life. Like that, for instance, that procrastination thing. You do that, you come back and tell me that you are procrastinating anymore. You won't be. You won't have to fear anything because all procrastination is, what is it at the end of the day? It is just a distraction from something bigger that you should be doing, and it is not the thing that you think that you should be doing most of the time. Anyway, make sure that you sign up to Jordan Shanks if you want more of that stuff. And if you don't want more of that stuff, then enjoy having a low-level, beta life cucks, okay? If you want to be one of these mad, office worker alphas, make sure that you sign up to Jordan Shanks, where I will be giving you the advice of 300 self-help books. You've heard this spiel before, so why haven't you signed up? Is it because you're a cheap ass? Let's be honest with yourself. That's what you're distracting yourself from it right now, isn't it? You're distracting yourself from the fact that you should be giving me money for extra content. I'll see you next time. Make sure you like and subscribe.